Woohoo! Welcome to today's live show. We're looking good here, man. And man, we've just crossed over into the final stage. It's going to be fantastic on the PulseX. And of course, we've got two big things that have happened. We're going to get into all that, of course. And that is the first one is the end of the volume multiplier and now into the 1.7 flat volume bonus. That is the first thing. Second thing, of course, is we're expecting. Oh, but before I finish that, of course, if you haven't sacrificed in the last couple of days because you've just come to PulseX, then today is obviously the best day to do it. You're going to get the best rates. We'll check that out later on the rate sheet so you can see that for yourself. Now, all the links in the video description for most of the sites that we're going to be looking at, but I have got a lot of new sites today, so they won't be in there quite yet. I have to probably add them in after the live show. The other thing, of course, is that the second thing, we're expecting the Origin account to sacrifice. Presumably that will be today. Who knows? It could be any time in the last 5 days, but today's the best rate, and of course doesn't affect the volume multiplier from before. So probably the next 24 hours is going to be pretty interesting, or next 20 hours as we go. It's going to be pretty fantastic. So those are the big two things to do at the moment. And of course, today does affect you if you haven't sacked for PulseX. You're wanting to do that. That's the case. I would also suggest that obviously this is better rate today, but of course picking up some Hex might be a better option for you, and getting the copy on the Pulsechain. And of course, the price of Hex has come down. We're going to talk more about that. I've got a poll in the channel. Let's get into that as well. We've got so much to talk about, man. It's going to be crazy. You know how I said crazy. It's going to be crazy. I think it's one of my new sayings now. This is crazy. I don't know, when you do live streams, you just come up with these new sayings. Just like woohoo! That's just pretty much how it goes. You got a big cup half full all the time. But the poll today is how are you feeling about the Hex price at the moment? And of course, the first option is time to buy, pump soon. The next one is almost time to buy. So the price has almost come down to a level you think it's going to be the bottom. Number 3 is just hodl, Pulsechain coming. And of course, that's a lot of people doing that. Just hodl, Pulsechain coming. And number 4, time to sell. There's always some people that want to sell. So there's an option for you. If it's still time to sell, you still think the price is going to go down. So it's time to sell if you haven't already, of course. So there we are. Let's see the poll. We've got 11 votes in there already. Just pumping it out. Let's just go for that for gold. My audio sounds like it's going pretty nicely. And so we're going to get into that. And I've got my little suit man. I'm your host, Suit Man, of course. I'm getting my little suit man cowlick coming in. Does that look right? It's all coming in there just about. I've got the little suit man cowlick sometimes. And this is the way it goes. So there we are. Welcome to Hex Token channel. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And let's get into some of the comments as we do the intro. We're typically going to do the intro. And then I'm going to do a PulseX straight away. PulseX results, because we've got so much to talk about. Then we're getting into the Hex price, and we're going to do a lot of stuff on the Hex price. And of course, that's going to include the log chart. We don't often bring the log chart in, but we're going to bring the log chart in, and we're going to bring a few other sites in as well. It's going to be pretty good. And we'll do the full coverage on the price. And then, of course, we're going to get into liquid loans, sacrifice. Day 2, we're in day 2, liquid loans. We're going to get into all that with the new site for liquid loans to cover liquid loans. It's going to be really cool. And then finally, we're going to end up with Pulsechain and the testnet too with the validators. We're going to do an update on the validator staking there as well. So it should be a lot in store for this live stream. But most important of all, get into the comments there. Community is number 1, numero uno. And of course, that's where we're going to go. So let's get into the chat, folks, and say hello. Very exciting today for sure. Let's find me where I'm at the moment. Tierra says, I identified as being steroid free. There we are. There's a few jokes there at the beginning, but well done to Fish Tank for getting in number 1 again. It took the place back, that's for sure. We've got a bit of competition in there for first in the chat. Alex Fame's in the house with the wait. We've got Kryptonic Newbies in the house, Hex Token channel member with all the emojis there. Man, if you want to get access to the emojis, hit the join button. And we've got 3 memberships: Pulsechains, Hexicans, and Richard Hart Club. You can join any of those 3 members to support the channel as we promote those projects. And also, you also get all the emojis and things like that in the chat that you can use and post, which is pretty cool. I think they look fantastic. I've still got to get that 555 one in. I've got to get onto that. I actually had a first round, but didn't quite like any of the ones that I had been given or had. Some of them were close, but not quite there. Alex Fame says Hex Token, woohoo, rockets bags. We got Brendan in the house. Just hold PLS is coming. I like that too, Brendan. I bought at 16.5 cents, says Brazology. Nice one. It's a good buy. And Sandra in the house has got the hearts out there. Nice to always see Sandra. What a pleasure, as for sure. If you haven't seen Sandra, I think on Discord Cinder, check her out on there. Fantastic commentary there as well. Tin Top says, what's up, Hex? What's up? Hey, Tin Top. And we've got Human Hex Trafficker in the house. What's up, family? A lot. It's lots happening. We're going to get into all that. So I want to talk about it straight away, but I'm going to do the comments first because you know me. I think it's very important. Hello, A1. Hello. And 3.14 Pi Day coming up. That's right. Pi Day is coming up. Now, there's another project called Pi. I've been mining Pi on this other project. It's worth nothing. It's supposed to have millions and millions of users, 10 million or something. But of course, it's run out of a university in America, Stanford or something. But boy, they take a long time to do stuff. I don't actually like it. There's a lot of project I don't like, but I keep mining it anyway, just in case it ends up being worth something. But there we are. It's got Pi Day as well. It's called Pi. And so we got Refined says woohoo, and Matt and Barley's in the house. Let's go. Morning, everyone. Have a good day. There's summer here, sunny as in good old New Zealand. And of course, hey, no matter what the government does here, which is oppressive, we've still got the beautiful nature, haven't we? We've still got that. Matt and Barley's got the Hex token stuff out there. Woo, nice. And Oz Watts says, "G'day, Kiwi brother. Buy more DCA." That's actually good advice there, Oz Watts. Nice one. And Cal says, "I just found the channel. Love it so far." Hey, Cal, welcome. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, we get into a lot of good stuff here, just non-stop. We get the hardcore stuff. Day in, day out. We're not mucking around. There's plenty of different types of shows out there from the Pulsechain and Hex and PulseX community, but we just like to keep it into the core stuff as best as possible. That's where we go. All right, we've got 30 people watching so far. I'm sure more will come as we go through the live stream. And let's get into PulseX results. Let's refresh this PulseX.com. And of course, here is 975,233,000 sacrificed so far. And of course, we're at just finished day 54. We're on day 55. And of course, as I said earlier, we have finished the volume multiplier. So let's read about that. The sacrifice rate. So there's 2 points now. There's the base points. And now we've moved over to the flat bonus rate, 1.75. No longer are we competing for the volume multiplier, getting ranked by US dollar amounts. Okay. So we've actually flipped over. That second component is now the old volume multiplier is out the window. And the new volume, the flat rate, 1.75, has taken its place for the last 5 days. And of course, there's 19 hours and 52 minutes until we get an increase in that base rate by 5%. It says here the rank volume bonus phase is already over. Every sacrifice from now on receives a flat 1.75. So if you're new to PulseX, you really want some PulseX sacrifice, you're willing to pay the base rate price at the moment, then today is your best day to sacrifice, and you've got 19 hours and 52 minutes to do that before a 5% increase happens. That's the way it is. We're going to check out the rate sheet later on the spreadsheet. The link is in the video description, though. So just hold on for that. That's coming up. The sacrifice phase will end in 4 days and 19 hours and 51 minutes. That's it. That will be over for PulseX sacrifice. And then, of course, more pressure will come on to the launch of Pulsechain. But that will just launch when it's ready, right? It's going to launch when it's ready. But psychological pressure will come in between the gaps there. It's going to be interesting. Will Pulsechain Testnet 3 come out? That's the key before that time. That's going to be interesting. I think it's a good chance of that coming out as well. And that would be very nice, big filler until Pulsechain itself is launched, obviously. So very cool. The current rate now is 10,000 points for $8.15. Can you believe it? 10,000 points for $8.15. Start off at $1. Now it's $8.15. Crazy. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the chart here. We've got obviously this back line here is just a little bit off, but we've actually got the we're actually in the final 5 days there on day 55 here. And of course, the rate there's $8.15 on the vertical axis. That's the way it goes. Very nice. All right, let's jump over to PulseX.com. That is the sacrifice on the Ethereum chain with the new rates. Let's jump over to PulseX.info. Now, this is just for beginners. If you are wanting to sacrifice on PulseX, I do suggest buying Hex at this stage. But if you are wanting to get PulseX, remember, you got to wait till break-even price is there in the market, and you've got everybody else behind you that's already sacrificed earlier than you that will be in the money much before you get in the money. Just take that into account. We've got Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, Polygon Matic. These are all Ethereum or compatible Ethereum chains. This is the official address, OX075, and ends in DDC8. That's the official address, and the vast majority of people sacrifice to that address. Of course, the easiest way of doing that is with some of the best tokens or coins, ETH, BNB, Hex, of course, which is about 54%. Matic, AVAX, stable coins, USDC. These are all good ones. They get qualified. To using some weird coins or stuff that doesn't have liquidity that could get disqualified because they're obviously not going to honor scam coins and stuff like that. So better to use better tokens. Of course, if you do buy Hex, you actually help the Hex price, right, as well as get your sacrifice in. That's pretty cool, and it goes off the market. And that's why people buy Hex, to push the price up from that point of view. Obviously, a Binance chain, if you want to go and do these other chains, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, etc., then just follow steps 1 to 3. And, of course, you'll be able to sacrifice there as well. Now, if you are a bit nervous about sacrificing, because maybe you're sacrificing for freedom of association, then you're not going to get those coins back. You're going to get PulseX points and wait for kind of the airdrop, if you want to use loose words like that, when it goes live. So that's what you do there. Just sacrifice a little bit if you're nervous, and then sacrifice if that works well. Sacrifice the total amount, and you'll be perfectly fine, and you won't get too upset if you did something wrong and failed. So just take that into account. Always better to sacrifice as well. All right, so that's PulseX. That link is in the video description. Let's get to the main event for PulseX. Here we are, PulseXLead.com. Woohoo! Here we go. I love it. Loving it. Good. All right, so the volume bonus phase is over, says the website. This site has stopped tracking the transactions. No! Yes, it's a good sign because we're moving forward. That's what we want to do, move forward. So anyway, data corrections may happen in the future. The total balance is $1,028,509,000 US. This is on the Ethereum chain, Binance Smart Chain, and the Polygon Matic chain. Those 3 chains, of course, are very exciting. And, of course, we've got the public sacrifice amount of 17.2 trillion PulseX points or PulseX tokens. That's pretty exciting. And, of course, that doesn't include the Origin wallet. When is it coming in? Oh, my gosh. It's going to be fun whenever it is. And of course, I guess I'm expecting it today. That could be happening or any time in the next 5 days. But obviously, today's the best points day no longer will impact the volume bonus for everybody else. So we're waiting for that to happen. We've got 136,174 wallets in total on these 3 chains. This excludes Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and other stuff. So it's on addition to that. So a total amount is probably at 1,050,000,000 to 1,100,000,000. Somewhere in that mark is probably our bonus there as well. So I haven't been tracking the Bitcoin, so I'm not sure how much bigger that got, but I'm sure it increased a couple of weeks back. All right, so cool. Let us jump into here. We've got 7 wallets over 10 million US dollars. So that's gives you the big size. We've got the Overwatch venture capitalist at the top there, otherwise known as Rack and Rochelle, the CEO there. And of course, we've got Hex Godwell at number 2 as well. So also they were big whales for the Pulsechain sacrifice also. So big believers, big supporters, and very, very cool. And you can see they've been very active supporting the Highest of Stakes documentary. It's been very positive from these people as well, and many other supports that they've been giving out to the community. So nice on that. Let's scroll down to the Magic Carpet Ride team. We've been following these guys because it's kind of unique. So the pool, these are people that are in a pool or a syndicate. So basically, they're from around the world. They get together and they sacrifice using the same wallets organized by 2 guys in Australia. And of course, they have spreadsheets to manage that. They also have Telegram chats for different sacrifices. And of course, they also have sacrifice addresses for all that sort of stuff, and a big YouTube channel as well. Big shout out to them, of course. And oh yeah, by the way, thanks for shouting out about Hex Token channel on the Magic Carpet Ride team the other day. They do appreciate me talking about them, but that's just the way it goes. Mutual respect there. All right, so let's see what they've been doing. They've done 4.3 million on the PulseX Sacrifice, and of course that ranks them at number 21 on these blockchains. Let's see if they've done any sacrifice. Yeah, on Sunday they did 2. Another $3,000 there, and effective around about $500. So cool for them. Well done. And of course, let's scroll down to the top 100. Get into that now. But Magic Carpet Ride have also sacrificed for liquid loans. I believe that they're number 1. We're going to check that later on. Hold on to your hat because we're coming for liquid loans. For the Magic Carpet Ride. We're going to follow their journey. I think it's pretty fascinating to see that play out. 1.2 million on is the amount to get into the top 100. And, of course, your multiplier is about 1.94 for that. So there we are. Let's go to top 500. There's probably about 115 millionaires that are sacrificed for PulseX, which is a pretty big amount, right? And, of course, the top 500, you need $202,843 to get in the top 500. And the multiplier is 1.68. So pretty exciting there. Let's get to the top 1,000. And we're going to scroll down from there. Here we go. Woohoo! $101,157. And the rate is 1.58 multiplier for there. Of course, it's finished now, right? So we're now in the flat bonus rate, but that just gives you an indication of what they got. Finally, the top 5,000. Let's go. Bam. And, of course, 20,101 was the amount to get in the top 5,000, and of course the rate was 133. There we are. So that volume multiplier is technically over, but these are still the estimated results for those, excluding, of course, Bitcoin and all the other stuff, which would probably relegate all those in the final distribution file. So that's just the way that's going. Let's have a look at the tokens. Hex at 557 million US dollars. Imagine pushing that money through Uniswap. That'd be pretty epic, pretty epic price. Now, you can actually try that on Uniswap with the swap there. Just put in $557 million, and I'm sure it's going to give you some bizarre outcome because it goes up with the square of the value. And so that's going to be pretty crazy. Anyway, 2 billion, 182 million Hex has been sacrificed, and that means it's off the market on the Ethereum inside the sacrifice wallet. And I always treat the origin address and the sacrifice wallet as brother and sisters in a big happy family of love there. That's just the way it goes. And of course, I see it as a feature and a benefit of the environments. And of course, that centralized control also enables it to act as a kind of informal operational manager supporting the project, maybe APY, other staking, other things like that. So there's lots of different benefits to it, depending on which project we're talking about. Of course, they're going to get the copy of that Hex on the Pulsechain as PRC20s, and that would theoretically be off the market on both chains, maybe around about 7.5% of circulating supply on both chains. And then, of course, we add on Pulsechain Sacrifice, over I think it's over 5 billion Hex tokens, something like that. That's pretty amazing, given the fact we had about 6 billion come out of staking between March and December last year. So pretty amazing there. All right, we've got ETH at 246 million US dollars. We got USDC at 109 million US dollars. USD Tether at 48.5 million. BUSD at 17.7 million. They're our top five. Obviously excludes Bitcoin. And of course we've got BNB at 15.8 million, DAI at 6 million, and Matic at 5 million, and AVAX at 3.7, and Shiba at 3.6. So cool. The top 10 looking really good there as well. And so brilliant stuff. Now the two big things, of course, is the US dollar amount sacrificed, right? The US dollar amount. And we've got over $600 million of US dollar sacrifice. So that's kind of like a war chest, as I always say. The other big theme, of course, we've got a lot of the DEXs sacrifice, Cake, Uni, Sushi, Quick, and all that good stuff. And that's really positive as well. So that means basically a lot of yield farmers are well aware of the project. They spread the word amongst their own yield farming communities. They're all going to come over once the bridge comes over. Biggest airdrop in crypto history, biggest yield farming, match them together, huge returns for the yield farmers. They're going to be there thick and fast. They're going to be coming through that bridge massively fast if they're not already on the other side, basically sacrifice with you and I. And of course, the total volumes at the beginning, Pulse and PulseX are going to start from here and go down pretty fast with the fee burn, the magical buy and burn, possibly results of the London fork as well, the benefits from that. So it looks pretty good. So that's this cool stuff that we've got going there. Let's get into separate the chains. And bam, let's hit that magical button. Of course, this is what we've got. ETH at the top 4, then Binance Smart Chain, the next 3, number 5 to 7. And then, of course, we've got Polygon Matic sitting at number 16 and 18. So that's the final results there. Pretty cool. Let's have a look at the stats, and we'll check out the results for the day. And let's see day 54. So $533,000 sacrificed, and that wasn't too bad. What did we estimate yesterday? Maybe 450 or something. I have to go back on the video there. So 533,000 is what we ended up with. So slightly higher than our estimate after 4 hours. And of course, the previous day, day 53, we had 675. So still over $500,000 bucks. That's pretty good, right? A lot of projects would be super happy to have $500,000 sacrificed in their projects. All right, cool. We've got and the balance for day 54 was 1,028,504. Cool. So now we're in day 55, and we've got 5,665 there. But once again, this site is now no longer data corrections may have it. This volume balance over the site is drop tracking transactions. Okay, so this is kind of the end result for day 54. So we're not going to get really much better data on this now because it has stopped the transactions. So, but we'll be bringing up new content as we go. But it was good to just have a final run on this one. So well done, everybody. The volume multiplier. Hope you guys made the best out of it and got the best ranking you possibly could. If you were part of the Magic Carpet Ride team, congratulations to you. 2.14, 2.15. What a brilliant way of joining the whales with the big multiplier. It really is pretty cool. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. It's certainly been good. And we are waiting for the origin account to sacrifice, folks. That is the big deal. And if you are looking to sacrifice, today is the best day. Those are the two key takeouts, I think, for today. So nice one, or 3 with the final results. Nice. All right, let's get into the PulseX, of course, and we're going to look at the rate sheet. We're going to down here, man to man. So we passed the end of the volume multiplier just a couple hours ago. How many hours? Let's see. 4 hours and 20 minutes ago, we passed the day 54, the end of the volume multiplier, and now we're in day 55. The base rate is $8.15 for 10,000 points. And of course, the flat rate bonus now applies instead of the volume multiplier, and that means 2,147 points you'd get at the moment. So amazing, right? Amazing per dollar. So amazing. That is the rate. So you see that's clearly the best rate for you if you are going to sacrifice day. Every day you don't wait, you don't sacrifice, your rate's going to get really bad. It's going to go from 2,147 to 1,767. Obviously, that's a lot better than a lot of these last 6 days of the volume multiplier, but definitely you're going to get in today if you are going to sacrifice. Alternatively, I do suggest, obviously nothing investment advice, but do suggest perhaps a better way is to buy a Hex at some stage. But of course, you've got always price movements into there, so you've got a few variables to take into account to do. So cool. We're $8.15 now, and the last day is going to be $9.91. That's in 4 days' time. It's going to be $9.91 for 10,000 points. It's going to be basically the total is $17.67 per dollar. So that's what's going to be there, or basically not $2, but it's going to be $9.91 and then a 1.75 bonus for the points. So cool. All right. So look, after that, let's jump over to where am I up to? No, not quite there yet. So that's the PulseX results, folks. Very cool. We just wrapped up the volume multiplier numbers there, and we'll have to wait for the origin account. That's going to be the big deal for tomorrow to talk about. So it's going to be fun. Let's get into some of the comments, then we'll get onto Hex price. That's going to be a big topic. We've got 4 different sites to look at for the Hex price, so we'll get onto that too. Tim Top says, welcome. Glad you made it, Cal. Yeah, absolutely. And Sandra says, like with the hearts. I love it, Sandra. And Francisco says, what's up, Suitman? What's up? And said Francesco Nava's in the house. Good to see you. It's always a pleasure to see you, Francisco. And I've known Francisco for a while now on the digital landscape. J Pon says, woohoo. Hey, J Pon, good to see another Hex Token channel member in there as well. And Christos says, woohoo, mother effing hoo. That's pretty passionate there, Christos. And we've got Brendan in the house. Market is looking bearish. Will Richard Hart time please launch for the time? Please PLS launch for the bottom if it keeps falling. Well, he's kind of, in terms of launching in half bear markets or bear markets, obviously you got bigger X's when the price goes up from zero. That's kind of his point of view on that one there, Brendan. J Pon's in the house, another Hex Token member. Good to see you all. Good to see you, J Pon, as well. Oz Watt says, please spend a minute on timing to buy a Pulsechain. I have staked Hex and sacrificed on PulseX, but missed Pulsechain. Yeah, well, there's some people will be doing some ratio trading. I know a lot of people that have obviously sacrificed for both of those. They're not going to be doing the ratio trading. It can be very tricky, and you may end up losing out. But generally, people have said that they're going to sacrifice some PulseX for Pulse. And I think that's probably been reduced a little bit, but we'll see. We'll actually see how the London fork plays out with the fee burning as well. That could have an influence as well. So we'll see where Richard heads with that. Francesca Nava says, anyone else buy the dip? Got some Hex just over 15 cents. I feel a pump incoming. Francesca Nava says, yeah. Well, we've had a couple of people already in the chat say they've bought Hex from looks like, I think Brazolji said as well. Oh my gosh, yeah. And heck yeah, Francesca. Yeah, Brazolji bought some too. Javier says 16 hit, targeted acquired, already all in. Nice one there, Javier. And congratulations to all of you out there buying the Hex dip for sure. And Brendan says Hex token pump. Yeah, we're going to get a green candle pump, but we're going to get onto the chart in a minute. We're not far away from the Hex price review. We're just going to go through some of these comments here. A1 says hit the likes, the thumbs up. Yeah, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And Jeremiah says, I missed the sacrifice. Wish I could have sacrificed early on. Hey, that always happens, Jeremiah. We had it for Pulsechain way back between 15th of July and 3rd of August. We had the sacrifice there. And, of course, then we had the mercy period all the way from the 4th of August last year right up till now, basically. But the rate's just insane in the membrane right now. So you wouldn't want to do the Pulsechain sacrifice unless you wanted to pick up just a a bit of Pulse for fees. But then you must, if you've got ETH, you're going to get some of that. So nice. Salmon SB says... it's got the post and all the rockets there. I love it, Sam. Another Hex Token channel member. And Netstar is in the house as well. Gains incoming as well. Hey, great to see so many Hex Token channel members. Really do appreciate the support. And a big shout out to you all. Ahmed says, hello. Hey, Ahmed. Good to see you again. And Aurelius is in the house with the elbow pump. And we got who is else? We got Theo in there as well. Theo, would the new sacrifice rate for PulseX be worth it before the launch? Or will it be better to hold for launch? I love your work, my New Zealand brother. Hey, Theo, let me think about that question again. I think I kind of answered that earlier, is that the best day for PulseX rate is today. With hold for launch. So if I'm interpreting your question right, then definitely the best day for PulseX Sacrifice is today. But I am suggesting that maybe buying Hex and getting a copy of Hex might be better off for you. But once again, I think that's probably better for the Hex one if I was going to suggest that. Hopefully that's answered your question, Theo. Let me know in the chat if that has. Brazology says that emoji looks like two dudes pulling. Oh no! And we got Brendan in the house with the cry stuff. Nice one. All right, let's get into it, folks. Don't forget to fill out the poll. How many votes we got on the poll now? 49. Let's get that up over 100. And of course, we've got time to buy. How are you feeling about the Hex price at the moment? Time to buy pump zone 43%. Almost time to buy 20%. Just hodl. Pulsechain coming 29%. Time to sell 8%. So we'll see how that ends up at the end. Let us get into the price review. Bam, here we go. Of course, here is our chart. We're going to get rid of the structure. And of course, we've got a green candle. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is the daily chart, of course. And of course, we're trying to get a green candle on the hourly whenever we do these live streams. That's it's delusional, I know, but if we can get green candle, it's kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. Anyway, we've got a green candle for the day. And of course, we covered from yesterday. We had a couple of, I think we had a couple of sells. I think we at least know we had one sell yesterday that did sacrifice for liquid loans, but I wouldn't get on too happy about the liquid loans thing. The market will recover. I don't think there's going to be that many. I think maybe day 10 of liquid loans, you could see some more selling if people are wanting to get there on that final day on liquid loans, but we'll talk about liquid loans later. But yeah, I wouldn't be too fussed about that at this stage. Anyway, so let us see where we're at the moment on the Bollinger Bands. We've got the top 95% here at 22.8 cents, and the bottom blue is the bottom 5% of prices. And I can't quite see the bottom of it, but I think that's at 16 cents, somewhere in there. And in the middle, we've got the 50% mark around about 19.5 cents in the Bollinger Bands. And of course, we're at right in the bottom of that at the moment. We should bounce off that. We've got a bit of a green there as well at this stage. So as I said, typically with the Bollinger Bands, when you go to the top or the bottom, typically maybe 2 or 3 days there. Sometimes you can get 5 days, sometimes you can get 7 days. And on very rare occasions, a few more, but typically it bounces off a couple of days and or a form other structure there. So definitely a bit of pullback there. If we get the ruler out, we'll have a look at this. We're going to be talking a lot about price, so hopefully this is going to be of interest to you. We're down 31% from there, 31.5 from that. That's over 13 days, over 2 weeks. We've had this 2-week decline. And there we are. We've bounced off the bottom today. So 15.19 cents or 15.2 cents. We've jumped off that. And at the moment, we're back up a little bit. Let's do the old ruler. And we're back up 6%. So not too bad at the moment. All right. So that is where we're at. And of course, we had a few people buying in the chat. They've already told us. They're probably likely some of those people are in this green candle here. And that's just the way it goes. Let's have a look at the hourly on this before we get back to daily. So yeah, we've had some nice little buying there. And you can see the volumes coming in as well. Now, this is the USD pair version 3 on the Uniswap pool. This is the main pool. And, of course, it has a lot of the bid support in the buy side. The other thing, of course, this is a linear chart, not a log chart. We are going to bring in the log chart today, given the way where the price is at this stage. So we're going to have a look at that shortly too. And so log charts are better for long-term price trends. And, of course, Hex has had a fantastic log chart. We're going to check that out. Log chart trend, I should say. That's easy to trip those words up. All right, so that's where at the moment. Hey, some of the things here also they want to point out in the structure. We've still got a higher low. So our low down here was around about 12 cents around that ballpark. About 12 cents. Let me just see. Yeah, so about 12 cents here was the low. And of course, we still have a higher low even with this here. We're at the lowest. We're at 15.2 cents. So still 3.2 cents below. It's 3.2 cents higher than this at the moment. And of course, it really just depends on how far this little correction here happens, right? So that's where we're at the moment. Still got a higher low that's intact. So not all is lost from that point of view. Let's pull in the structure. And of course, we pull that in. I've added some new lines to this structure, of course. We know that we've got 4 days to go until the end of the PulseX Sacrifice, 5 days including today. And of course, that's counting down. We're expecting the Origin wallet to come in here and sacrifice, but probably today is my expectation. But once again, it can do whatever it wants. Just has to push more Hex into the thing, depending on what it wants, how much of the supply it wants to get. I guess it doesn't really matter relatively too much, but that's what it wants to do. There we are. So I've put in the support price here. We got the price support at 16 cents. We hit that, right? And of course, we got down 15.2 cents, and we slightly broke that one. And we were 2 days in there, so that was not just popping through it and then back up, not bouncing out of it. But we had 2 days slightly below that. But what we have hit is we have had our big triangle support line. Look at that. So a big triangle support line there. We hit that. We punched through it today. And the question is, are we going to stay at the same level or go up or we're going to ride up that support line? That's the question. Are we going to stay above it or are we going to break down that support line? We break down the support line. That's not typically good. If we do that, where's our next price level? I've got the next price level, obviously, at the previous low there. We got 12 cents at that stage. So 12 cents is the price level. Back here, when we previously hit around 12 cents, we had a couple of lower prices, around about 11 cents. So there's a 1 cent dip between that, below 12 cents there on our structure. So this is our best information. Obviously, the past is not necessarily a prediction of the future, but that is our best support line based on the price chart there at the moment. So anyway, the support line here seems to be defending us. We had a nice little green bounce out of it. Let's see, hope we can maintain that and ride up here from that. We are expecting a big run up for fundamentals of Hex when Pulsechain, when the block hike comes. I think that's going to be pretty inevitable. Obviously not investment advice, but I think it's pretty inevitable. I'm expecting this big green rise at some stage. When is it though? We have to translate it left or right. So we just don't know when that's going to occur in my view. So we're just waiting for that to play out. In the meantime, a lot of the plebs are selling out. Weak hands are selling out. And it provides some opportunity for people who are believing in the price to buy in. And obviously, we've seen quite a few people in the chat already say that they're buying in. And we've got that poll at the moment. We're going to see what the results are of that at the end. So it's going to be something we're going to look at as well. So cool. All right. So that's we've also got a new resistance line here as well. So this dash line here. So both the dash lines are both new. And we've got this dash line resistance here. It's obviously adjusted in here now. So we've got to break out of that to get more pumpalicious as well. So maybe 17, 18 cents. We've got to bounce back into that mark at this stage. So let's see if we ride up the support here. That would get us up. Let's do a week here. So a week from now, let's say 7 days. 7 days would get us up to say about 16.1 cents. I'm going to get rid of my banner. Just rid of my banners. I kind of like the banner at the bottom, but then it does get in the road when I talk about price. Price is the one thing I forget to take it off, so I do apologize for that. All right, so let's go to 7 days. Yeah, so 7 days would get us 7 days would get us about 16 cents or so, but that's pretty soft, right? I think we're going to move a bit stronger than that. So definitely that's where we're probably looking at this stage. All right, so cool. And of course, what was previously support becomes resistance. So, next resistance becomes now 18.6 cents again. So 18.6 cents is the resistance line that we want to get up to the top of the solid line from the small dash line here. So we'll definitely watch out for that. All right, so that's that. At the moment, obviously, we've got relatively softer volumes as well with the lower price included. Let's jump over to the DMI. And of course, let's get rid of the hash there. Obviously, the buyer's direction is in control. That's the direction is in the sellers. The seller's direction, I should say. And the buyer's is in the bottom direction. We'll probably get a little move up here today with enough buying. If we get enough buying going on, we're obviously seeing that green candle on the daily. Hopefully, we'll get a nice little uptick in this green direction. And of course, the momentum in orange here is what they call the DMX line. Is up at 20, so that's actually signal. Once you get to 20, kind of signals the chance of a trend, and of course, but it really needs to get over 25. So we're going to bring in our previous overlays. This is what we want to see. We want to see the buyers come up here. So we're going to change that around now. We're going to want to see the buyers up there, and of course, we want the momentum to stay up there as well. We're going to need a pretty decent amount of buying to get us in this position. Either a massive retail move or some whales that decide that the price is going to move up. I'm still not expecting that for a couple of days, at least 3 to 7 days after running through the PulseX Sacrifice. And then probably a couple of days after that is probably the soonest I expect to see a big move on the price, if that is the case. Obviously, with the sellers here, you're looking at that moving down across there, somewhere like that. That's what we want to see. This is the key one for the momentum. Get it over 25 and you've got a good chance of a very strong uptrend. And of course, we want that uptrend to be the buyers beating out the sellers. That's what we want to see. So we'll keep watching that. At the moment, we've got the opposite at the moment. We've got the opposite at the moment, but we haven't got the momentum hasn't quite got over 25. So therefore, we've got a good chance of reversing this situation. So we'll wait for that too. The other side, of course, is we've got the RSI, plenty of room into that as well. That has bounced out of here. Bounced out of a negative 30. That's pretty amazing. So not negative 30, bounced out of 30 and is back up at 33 there. So that's probably got a bit of buying coming in already, helping with that. But we've got a lot of room if we do get a nice price rally in there at the moment. So that there is kind of the linear assessment at the stage. And of course, I don't know if we're going to get the launch here between the 5th of March to the 18th, which is what we originally had. We haven't got Pulsechain testnet 3 yet, but I do expect it to come in here somewhere. And that should give us a good idea. That might last, say, 2 weeks at the shortest, in my view, for a big test run. The AMM bot needs to be tested properly, right? We want everything A-OK with the software. It's no point having the sacrifices, everything else, and then having one of the big pieces of the puzzle not quite there, right? And so far, everything's going good. The MVP products are going good on Pulsechain testnet 2. The validators are going good on Pulsechain testnet 2. And, of course, Pulsechain testnet 3 is what we want to get. They're doing private testing with the AMM bot. Doing harvesting with printing their own tokens, stuff like that. Now, the other thing, of course, is we've got for Pulsechain testnet 3, we've got the AMM bot, we've got the PulseX incentive DAO, and then, of course, the distribution files. Those are the 3 things that are left to go, pretty much. So, and they've been worked on, right? So, looking forward to that. I do hopefully they simplify the distribution, and that doesn't cause too many issues as well. It's more of an administrative task, but hopefully that's simplified to a degree as well. All right, cool. That's kind of where we're sitting at the moment. Obviously, this big resistance line is what we want to breach. Looking at 24, 25 cents here. This 24 to 28 cents mark, kind of where we want to smash through. And like I say, we either need some big news, the block height fork, or Pulsechain testnet 3. I don't think is going to do it, but it will be positive for momentum. So it will be positive for momentum. Whereas the block height and the mainnet launch are the 2 big things we're expecting at this stage. Also in March, we've got Hexpo conference coming up. Also on the 23rd, we've got Peter Schiff versus Richard Hart. We've got the 96 hour that's coming up. That's just about to start. I think it's not too far away from starting. I'm in the future here in New Zealand, so it's always easy to get the timing wrong. But we're already in the 21st here, but that's coming up as well. So 96 hours of non-stop Hex Pulsechain media coming up on Twitter chats or whatever they call it. And, of course, also on YouTube. So it's going to be pretty big with lots of big influencers, over 500,000 people, people on all these influencers. And, of course, the big thing on 23rd, Richard Hart. So there's lots of good stuff coming up there as well. I also imagine that maybe by March, hopefully the Hex scale has got up and running as well, and they'll be starting to receive money and start buying Hex and staking 555. They'll be staking after the Hex Godwile, of course, and so you could end up seeing the Hex scale and the Hex Godwile end up in 15 years' time controlling the T-share supply, because it'd be very rare. T-shares would be very rare. Of course, B-shares will be the name of the game. Probably B shares, M shares, bad at the stage quite easily, because T shares are just going to get more expensive and they go up exponentially. Pretty much, it's pretty crazy. So nice on that. There's the linear chart, folks. Let's jump over to the log chart. So we've got the log chart here, and you can see it's got clicked on log at the bottom. And of course, here we are on uniswap.hex.vision. And of course, we've got the price. This price chart goes all the way to the back. So the typical chart I use only goes back to on the linear chart back to May 21. But this log chart goes all the way back to the beginning of Hex, 2nd of December 2019. And you can see on the log chart how it's been going up there. I've got the lines here touching the very bottom prices to give us some angulation there. And of course, the top of the hits there as well. Some people set this up differently. This is the way I've set it up, just with the lows and the highs. So that's pretty much it. And you can see that we're not quite out of the low yet. So out of this trend, this angularized trend here on the log scale. So we're still within the bands. That's positive. As soon as we break down through that does get a bit ominous on the log scale. It kind of means this mega uptrend is kind of over if you from my point of view. So that's where I see it. So we've got the low, of course, is the quadruple 056, 5th of January there. That's our all-time low. You can see that right near the beginning there. This is what people might think they might see in Pulsechain. They might see this big rally at the chart's going to be very different in my view. We'll probably get a big rally and then of course we will get some sell-offs, and then the plebs, once the plebs have gone, maybe they've got a couple X's, the real big whales will come in and start souping up supply when they're ready. And of course, back in the Hex day, that took a few weeks, about 4 weeks to do that. So that was about 4 weeks before we got to the low. After the X low, I think it's going to be very different in some ways as well. So this is not going to be exactly the same. But then, of course, we started getting the price rise as we go up there. Now I've got the high price, of course, 52 cents. Some people use 56, but I really use 52 as the maximum I like to use there. For 52 cents here on the 10th of September, this is the high here as well. So you can see the big gap there on the log chart. Now, if I take the log off and turn it back to a linear scale, just like the previous chart, it looks like that. All right, so that's a linear chart. It's very different, right? And this is the log chart there. Hopefully that shows you difference. You like that one? It's quite different, eh? So there's the log chart there. And this gives us better for long-term trends. So we're still in this uptrend from my point of view, as I've shown here. And I think the price support that we're going to have here is on the support line here, the angle line support. So our first support line really for me is 13. So on our linear chart, the support line shows up at this. The next one is 12 cents, 12.2 cents, something like that. Whereas on the log chart, we actually have another support line, in my view, somewhere around about 13.5 cents, and then down to 11.3 cents. So not quite that low, maybe 12 cents there. So down to 12 cents, and then maybe around 13.5 cents. So we've got a little bit of resistance there, not from the chart itself, but from the long-term support there, that long-term support, in my view, somewhere around this period here. That may also go along as down to that level. So we could even get down to that low, so maybe 13 cents. So 12 to 13 cents, kind of where we're at there on the support there on the log chart, in my view. So that's kind of where we've got there. The PulseX, of course, is here. We've only got 4 days to go after today, so 5 days till we hit that mark. It's going to be fascinating there as well. So we could end up hitting 13.5 cents if it does decide to keep tracking down to that point at all. If we break through that is quite a big issue in my point of view. That does create quite an issue with the angulation there. So yeah, that would be something else to talk about altogether. But hey, so far so good. We have seen this pattern before. Where did we see this pattern? So we kind of saw this pattern back here, back in 2020. And then, of course, we're getting a little bit of the sideways movement here on the long scale for 2022. And then, of course, 21 was a big rise there. So let's see if we get that as well. So just keep watching at the moment. Let's get on to the markets, of course. And, of course, here we are. Yesterday's live stream was crazy, right? Yesterday's live stream was crazy. We had yesterday's live stream we had. We were watching just before we watched the price after the first major move down. When it was sitting just above 40K, remember, during the live stream, that's when it smashed. We were on the live stream at the time towards the end, and it broke 40,000, and then it went right down to 38,000 on Bitcoin, and has bounced off that to back to 39. ETH was sitting up at about 28.75, and of course, or 28.9, and that had just pulled back down as well, down to 26, and that's recovered somewhat as well. So pretty crazy. We were live on the live stream at the time. It was pretty cool to see that. It's not always the case, and when you get the big moves, a couple $1,000 moves on Bitcoin, you don't always happen to see that. So that was pretty neat there as well. We can see that a bit of green seems to be coming back into the fray, a little bit of recovery after those two big steps down. Remember, Bitcoin was up at 43, I think it was 43.5, somewhere like that, maybe even 44, but it was up at that mark. It was going to be lead a lot more economic energy to get back over 50K. I said that earlier, a couple of weeks back, or where it was. And I said the chances of that were going to be low, and that's exactly what we have got with the general sentiment. You've got geopolitical risk around the Russia and Ukraine. You've got Taiwan Straits with the China. You've got lots of other issues. There's so many issues. It's just crazy. And of course, freedom under attack. And of course, a big shout out to those in Wellington for freedom. We don't believe the propaganda that comes out of the mainstream news or the Prime Minister who has taken authoritarian power. So freedom for everybody around the world. That's a pretty easy ask, right? Just keep the freedom. No need to put in other people's worldviews and impose them through laws. We've had enough of that stuff in the 20th century. We saw a lot of that in the 20th century. Don't need it for the 21st century. All right, so let us jump over to the altcoin season. And here is the relativity at the moment. So we've moved back down to 29. So this is not altcoin season on the 90-day basis. And of course, it strengthens towards the Bitcoin season there. And we can actually see if we go down there, we've got Bitcoin in black here. We've got all the reds here performing not too well. We've got top 3 there, Luna, Leo doing pretty well on the top of that. And you can see that we are down towards the Bitcoin season. So this is kind of a relativity thing, not an absolute. So on a monthly basis for the current month, we're also at 37. So we're towards the Bitcoin season, but not towards the altcoin season. So I think that's probably fairly obvious there. The year, of course, it's not altcoin season either. So if you're holding a lot of altcoins, that's the case. Of course, if you're holding the very golden products, Richard Hart ecosystem, then you're going to be, I think, pretty good hands. Very nice. So that, folks, is the X price review and crypto review. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's get into some of the comments here. I think I'm miles behind now. That's the session. How we go. Let's jump over the top here. We've got Brazology in the house. I mean, and we've got some Russian bots as well. Bum says Tira, and Brendan's got one. What else? We got one talking about the Russian bot. Yeah, Rudis is in the house, laughing at bags off. What is it supposed to be? And I'm not sure what's going on there, so I'll jump through all that. Greg says time to pump. Woohoo! And Brazology. Anyway, so Jimbo is in the house. Jimbo Sticks is the new latest member of Hex Token channel. Big bow down. Always do the big bow down to the new Hex Token channel members. We'll appreciate the support. Whoop, 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 whoop. Very cool. Hey, welcome aboard, Jimbo Sticks. Very, very cool. Enjoy the emojis. Hope you paste some of those emojis in the house down on the chat there. Tierra says, I can't unsee it either. Now let's just jump through some of these here. Rita Scott, hit and subscribe. Absolutely. And Jimbo Sticks says, find the quarter live stream. Woohoo! Hey, it's great stuff, and good to see those emojis in the house. Once you become a Hex Token channel member, get to do those cool emojis. I'm going to scroll this back up a little bit so I can see them in the chat there. Nice. They're looking good. What else we got? Brain Funk says, I just bought something. Nice. What's that, like 4 people are in the chat already bought some Hex? Very, very cool. You guys are true hardcore Hexkins, and of course, looking good there. Craig Waiting's got woo-hoo-hoo, and we've got lots of emojis going good there. Does anyone know when Sense Foundation sacrifices are public? No, I don't know. Let's maybe someone in the chat does. Best wishes from Calcutta. Sand Dips in the house. Hey, very, very cool to see you in the house there. A big shout out to India as well. And it's now says just got here. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, it's now good to see you. And RH didn't tell me anyone. It's a party now says Brazil. It absolutely is a party. And we've got Brendan says like the new log chart. Hex Token. Hey, you're welcome. Only bring it in when there's something that's really dramatic, like it's nearing the bottom there. I think when the log chart starts heading towards the bottom, that's kind of like when I like to bring it in. So yeah, cool on that. All right, so let's go back. I'll just leave it on the Hex chart. We're getting in the next topic. Next topic is liquid loans. So we're going to come up to that if you were waiting for that. Day 2, and we're going to see day 1 results, which I think is pretty neat. It's now it's got the punches in the house. We've got Charity in the house as well. Very cool to see Charity. And Jimbo 6 says Richard Hart predictions on Bitcoin are looking on target. Yeah, he's been pretty good with those. It's now says onboarded yet another no coiner today. Stake 555 now. It's now. Well done to you, man. Well done. That's what it's all about. Spread the word, folks. Spread the word about your own investments. These are the gold standard investments. Richard Hart is taking over crypto. Pulsechain is coming. PulseX is coming, and much more. It's going to be very, very cool. So Matt and Barley says that it's a total baloney. So many sheep out there, even friends. Freedom for all, stop criminal mandates and horseshit protests and stop instantly. It's a no-brainer unless you're a sheep. That's right, man. Absolutely agree with that. If you don't stand for freedom, they'll take it away from you. And, of course, then they'll impose things on you. You don't want that. So freedom. Do what you can to support that peacefully. Brownie says, just got my second liquid loan sacrifice in. Woo! Nice one, Brownie. And Tim Tot says, good job. I did buy some Hex today under 16, says Sam. Wow. What's that, like 5 or 6 people in the chat? You guys are making me want to buy more. Of course, I can't do that while I'm on the live stream, but it's definitely something I'm going to do after the live stream. Pick up some more. I did sacrifice for liquid loans, so let's get into liquid loans. I sacrificed yesterday. And thank you, everybody, if you've used my referral link for that 5% bonus. And, of course, you get your own referral link for doing that as well. It's in the video description. And, of course, it's a win-win, right? You get 5%. The person that uses your referral gets 5%. If you get over 10 referrals, then you get 10% of your own sacrifice. And but to make those referrals qualify, everyone needs to have sacrificed $500 or more. That's kind of how it works as a minimum. qualifying to make those actual work. That's pretty cool. We're going to get into liquid loans right now. I think we are. Let me jump over to the right spreadsheet. Bam. Hopefully I put this in the right order. That's what's cool. So there we are. So we've got the sacrifice here. And of course, we're not going to go through all of this because we went through this in detail yesterday. If you want to go watch me go through this, check out yesterday's video. I've got a timestamp, I believe, so you can jump straight to the sacrifice. But basically, we'll just do a few of the highlights. Sacrifice points will be rewarded on the following basis. Sacrifice should be made from the Ethereum mainnet or Binance Smart Chain. Just those two chains, folks. Not like PulseX. It's just these two. You can only use stable coins as well. They have got a little bit of Hex. Somebody made a mistake. They don't want Hex. Of course, they want stable coins here: USDC, USD Tether, TUSD, DAI, BUSD, and either on Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain. Obviously, Binance Smart Chain's super cheap as well, so it won't cost you a lot to do, top up stuff there on your sacrifice if you want to. I always like to say, how much do I want to sacrifice to this project? I like Richard Liquid Loans. I know all the benefits it's going to do. We've gone through that many times, but it's not a Richard Hart project, right? So I've made that very clear yesterday, and I'm making it clear today. And so I just say, well, I'd like to get a little position in this project. Some people want to get big positions in the project. That's all good for them. You decide what you want. I'm taking up a modest position in this. So I'm not going too big because I'm really going for the Richard Hart project. That's what I want. I want more Pulse. I want more PulseX. I want more Hex. That's pretty much the end game there. All right, your sacrifice must come from your own wallet. Each stable coin sacrifice will be awarded up to 10,000 sacrifice points based on when you sacrifice. Very, very important. So there's a lot of disclaimers there, of course. And then, of course, the model. So it's basically three ways of getting the points. There's earlier pays better. That's the first two are like PulseX, are similar. And, of course, earlier pays better. And here is the timeline here. The first 10 days, basically, you're going to get 10,000 points for $1. And then it's going to rise by 5% all the way up to day 30, which is the final day. So you've got 10 days and then 20 days of it rising by 5%. That's pretty much it. Bigger pays better. Obviously, you're going to get your US dollar rank proportionally to everybody else. So it starts with 1x up to 2.5x, like PulseX sacrifice there. So obviously, the bigger amount you rank yourself up. This is where the Magic Carpet Ride team probably going to be number one, New Maruna. We're going to check that out shortly. Then, of course, there's longer pays better. This is number 3. And, of course, every month that you sacrifice, you get 6% bonus. On the 24th month, after 2 years, you get 12% on that final month. So 6% every month. The longer that you decide to do a sacrifice, a staking ladder, as it were, you will get that longer bonus. So pretty cool. The sacrifice only lasts 30 days, of course. And if you are going to use the third component, if you are going to use the bigger pays better, the longer pays better, the third component, then you need to format your sacrifice in the right way. Basically, between 0 cents and 24 cents is going to be how long you want to actually delay your gratification or receive those tokens. You're going to receive them instantly, but there'll be a smart contract, which means that you don't get them until a certain time that you nominate when you sacrifice them up to 24 months. And of course, there's a 250% multiplier, 2.5x multiplier for delaying gratification out 2 years. And of course, if you do any cents that is over 24 cents, that will go. Let's say you did $10,000 and 30 cents, then that's just going to default you to instantly. So you won't get any delay in months. It'll just give you the tokens available straight away, all the points straight away. That's pretty much how that works. You can sacrifice multiple times. Of course, it's just going to take into account the parameters that you sacrifice them at, and that's pretty much it. So cool. Participation, of course, this is the main address. This is where this is only on ETH and Binance Smart Chain, and of course it starts with OX2E9, ends with 948C9. That's the official address there, and that's where you sacrifice to. So you can sacrifice on the Binance Smart Chain or the Ethereum, and of course that's it will just go there, and it registers your sacrifice with your with the hash address, and also with the way that you've used your cents aspect of your sacrifice. So $10,000 and 24 cents would mean that they're gonna they want to get the 2.5x bonus. They're gonna basically not get the tokens accessible until 24 months later, 2 years later. So cool on that. That's just the way they're. So basically that's the way it's going. They've got a cool launch video. We'll cover that. Let's jump over to the actual sacrifice address. Here we go. Bam. All right. So we're going to refresh this too, because obviously it's gone up since I posted this. Yeah, $5.4 million on the Ethereum chain. And of course, they've also got the Binance Smart Chain. Let's go check that out too. And we'll pull it up. Bam. So we're going to pull up the Explorer for that. $446,000 on that chain. Looking good. Looking good. So well over What's that? 5.4 and 4. That's 5.8, almost $5.9 million sacrificed. And so far they're in day 2. So looking good there. We're going to jump out of the blockchains though, and just wanted to show you the source. So when you sacrifice, you're going to send it to this address, which is this one here. You can either send it on Ethereum or the Binance Smart Chain there. This is the Ethereum one, and this is the Binance Smart Chain one. This is on the Block Explorers, of course. And of course, let's jump over to the new site that we're going to use. This is the liquid sacrifice. So this is hexpulse.info. We're going to use this to look at the liquid loan sacrifice. So the total there is nicely done for us. 5.8 million there and 26,000. I think there's probably a little delay in the updates, but this is pretty close. And there's 1,319 wallets so far. Very, very cool. The estimated token supply so far is this amount. So this is what's got 125 billion loan token estimate at the moment. So there we are, 125 billion, 63 million. Cool. That's how many loan token estimates at the moment. No, there is a disclaimer, of course. This page is unofficial statistics, not affiliated with the Liquid Loans team. Therefore, any provided information here comes with no warranty. USD equivalents of sacrifice coins and tokens are based on data provided by CoinGecko. These rates average between various chains and can differ on the official figures. If you see your sacrifice within zero value and is not rated yet in the details, it means the US dollar value is not accounted for yet. May take 2 to 8 hours to sense your transaction. This page is a community project and is run for free. So that's pretty much that. You can, if you want to check out your Liquid Loans points so far, you can paste your address in here and choose that detail. So I'm going to post this link in the video description. So if you want to check that out on your Liquid Loans, it's a bam, paste that. All right, so cool. That is the site there, looking good. So definitely check that out. If you want to paste your address, you can show your details there. Now, this shows the top 500 sacrifices. And of course, here it is at the top. Magic Carpet Ride, they are number 1. I said to the chance that they had a good chance of being number 1. They're already number 1 on day 2. Let's see how they go by day 10. Day 10, we could get some big whales play on day 10. That's the final rate before it goes up 5%. So that's in about 8.5 days or so. We'll see how that goes. But at the moment, this indicates that they have 25 billion tokens. Now, remember, this is the instant wallet. They have different wallets for delay. So we saw that time delay. The time delay here, that longer pays better. Bonus that's up to 2.5x. They have different wallets for different months, I believe. So just take that. I'm not sure how many months they're doing, whether they're just doing 6 months, 12 months. I think that might be what they're doing. Not sure how many wallets they have got that. But let's assume they're doing 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, something like that. Then they might have 5 wallets or something. I didn't actually hear that part when I've been watching them, but that might be the case. Let me know in the chat if that is the case. If it's every 6 months they've got wallets for, that would mean 5 wallets rather than 24 wallets, So cool. All right, so that there is the points at the moment. We can actually hit the eye details, and that breaks down their sacrifice, and we can see it all on the 19th there. They did their first round. Now, I understand that they're not going to do their next sacrifice round until day 10. So they're going to keep accumulating tokens and sacrifice amounts for day 10. They just wanted to open day 1 just to signal that they were here. They had arrived, and Liquid Loans was number 1. So cool. So we've got these sacrifices here. They did USDC 672,000. We've got some USD Tether. We've got some DAI there and some USDC here all on Ethereum here too. So this is their transactions here, 355. Pretty impressive from this team. Of course, this is a trusting team. You got to trust. And of course, they look like really cool guys. So big shout out to them. They've got here 1 million, of course, was the one we saw yesterday. This will happen on the live stream. I can't remember who pointed it out, but that was a big deal. And look at how many points. So 25 billion, 21 billion. This is for, I believe, instant. We can see in here. Let's have a look here. You can see that just got the DAI amount there, US value 1 million. So this big whale is not looking to get the longer pays better bonus. This whale here, I think this is the one that sold the Hex, and I'm not after 100% convinced. I think they'd sell some Hex for this, and got 1 million. But they've got no zeros on there. So because they've just got 0, that means they want the points straight away. So this one here is playing the short game. Maybe a couple of X pumpermentals. This is what this short whale is doing. Just take them into account. There's going to be a lot of games. This whale is signaling that they are playing the short game, not the long game. They may end up putting it into the platform, earning the fees for a little while, but they may just be waiting for the price to get to a certain point. So just take into care. There'll be lots of strategies going on here. Let's have a look at this one. Number 3 here have done that. They've got so this is they've already done it. So they've got $100,000 means that they want the points straight away. So it looks like they're getting 1 billion points for that. And of course, here's this one here. They are delaying. So see, it's got 24 cents on it. That means that then they're going to get the 2.5x bonus for staking, for basically sacrificing for 2 years. So that's 200,000 is for 2 years. So they've taken a third and 2/3 of strategy. Interesting, eh? Interesting. So they'll get the longer pays better points at the end there. So interesting game going on there as well. So cool on that. So you can sort of see how that works, and it goes on and on and on. They're the big first three at the moment. Obviously, this does the first 50, and you can keep going through that. And let's have a look at the number 50 there, see what that is. So $1,000 is number 500, sorry. Have we got 500? Yeah, top 500. So the bottom 500 is $1,000, and they're getting 10.6 million loan points. So let's hit on their button, and we can see that they're doing short term. They're not getting the longer pays better bonus. They got 10,000, getting 10 million points there. They're getting no longer pays better bonus. Let's check the one above them, number 499. Also short term as well. I'm sure there must be somebody there with the longer term one. And let's have a look there. No, they're all short, aren't they? Because they've all got zeros on there. Let's have a look up top here. We might go to 49, 48. They've got 6. So this one's here has got 5. This is cool. This is a good example. So this one here has got 5 cents. That means they're going to be getting the longer pays better bonus for 5 months. So 5 times 6% is pretty much, 30% bonus is what they're going there. Yeah, 0.3 bonus. And of course, they're going to end up with 3 million bonus on top of their 10 million there. So that's how that works. They got the 10 million for earlier pays better. Obviously, they're going to get a volume multiplier bonus as well on top of that. And of course, they're getting the longer pays better bonus, 30%. So that's pretty much how that works. Very cool. Let's have a look at the totals there. So that was just a couple of examples. Don't want to go through all of them, of course. There's 1,300 of them, so we're not going to do that. But just to highlight how it works. We've obviously got the sacrifice volume in total here, and we can see that we're just climbing up here. At 5 on the 20th here, we've got 5.8 million so far, just over 5.8 million there at the top there. That chart will look better as we move through the days. And of course, on the blockchain, sacrifice US dollar volume timeline per blockchain network, we've got Binance and Ethereum. So it's just broken into these two components now as well. So pretty good on the Binance actually. And number of wallets per US dollar, this is pretty cool. So we can actually see that to get in the top 500, you need to be $1,000 or above. So you need to be in this column or over to be in the top 500 that are showing on that screen. But we've had a lot of people sacrificing, smaller amounts. Now I expect to see this, right? We did see this in PulseX. We saw a lot of wallets down this end. That's what we expect to see. Less than $250, 194, 144 for less than $500, and less than $700, 190. So if you want to qualify for the referral bonus, you kind of got to be in this column or higher. So that you have a wallet that's got $500 or more for your referral link to work. So just remember that you need to do $500. Don't just do referrals and think you're going to get all these referrals and you haven't done a $500 sacrifice. You will not qualify, and just don't fall for that trap. That would be very unfortunate if you got referrals out to 10 people and they did all these sacrifices. You're not going to get their sacrifices if you don't do your $500 sacrifice, right? So you won't get the 5% bonus for that. All right, cool. We've got a big candle here, less than 2,500, 289. So a very popular area here. This seems to be in that zone there, and that's less than 1,000 there. So that is a pretty popular zone. Obviously, we've got teams like we've got two wallets. The Magic Carpet Rides in the top here, all by itself, all by its lonesome self here with another wallet that one I believe that sold the Hex down yesterday. That's sitting in here as well. Otherwise, you're coming all the way down here as well. So it looks quite different. And of course, here we are on the day, Pulse Points rate. This is the rates that you're getting, of course, on a $1 at the moment. You're going to get $1 all day. This is the rate sheet, and then it's going to start going up every day. So it's going to get up to, this point here, 3,589 points for $1. Actually, what's this one here? 9,523 points per $1 on the March 1st. This is day 11. So this is when the rate starts going up by 5%. What else we've got? Sacrifice points per USD. Obviously, 10,000 points is what you're going to get for $1, and then it's going to start declining all the way for day 30. Day 30, you're going to end up with 3,589 points per $1. Pretty cool. So big shout out through hexpulse.io. They do also cover other sacrifices, but we're not covering those because we're just covering the ones that I think fit well with the Richard Hearts ecosystem. So I'm going to do my best to keep focused on that. I think those are the ones that add the value to the ecosystem as well. So otherwise, it's it really is in my view, kind of unless you're trying to just profiteer and speculate, you're in much riskier projects that don't really help the chain too much. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the Zolo sheet. I've made this up, of course. Longer pays better. Just wanted to show you how this works. This is an example of how you might formulate it when you're sacrificing. Let's say you sacrificed $100. If you wanted the points straight away, you would just do $100.00. If you wanted to delay for 1 month and get a 6% bonus, you would put 100.01. If you want to delay for 2 months and get 12% bonus, you'd put 0.2. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. So you can pause the video if you want to check that out. That's how it works. And of course, this is how you would sacrifice when you send the money to the sacrifice wallet. You would send it like this. If you only do $100, there's the cents that actually determine that third component, that longer pays better. And of course, you do that all the way up to 24 cents. And of course, that would be the 50% bonus. If you do a number higher than 24, it will default. If you do 100, say if you said $100.76, it would just think that you want it instantly. So anything over 24 cents, it's 25 cents, 26 cents, all going to be treated as instant by default. And so you'll get the tokens immediately. So if you make a mistake, that's how they're going to manage that. This is the way that they're going to manage the third component. Very cool. Obviously, the earlier pays better. As we said, you're going to get 10,000 points per dollar. But then, of course, it's going to fall all the way down to day 30. So it's a good way of seeing it here. And then, of course, the third component, bigger pays better. You're going to get that based on your USD rank. So that's going to be decided at the end, right? Once they know, all the US dollar rankings versus each other. But we do have indications, as we say, do have indications on there. Cool. All right. So that is hopefully, and this is a $100 example. Earlier pays better. You'll get $1 million. At the moment, you're going to get $1, 10,000 points. So $100 times 10,000 points equals $1 million. You're going to get 1 million points, of course. And then if you do longer pays better, let's say if you did the max at 24 months, you will get 2.5 million points. That's pretty much how it's going to work with the bonus 1.5 million. And then, of course, you've got bigger pays better as well, which you'll find out later at the end there. So it's a bit of a guide. Let's jump over to the liquid loan side, of course. This is the link here. If you want to get the referral link, obviously, it'd be great if you could use my link in the video description. You will be able to send your link out, get a 5% bonus. Of course, you get a 5% bonus for using my referral link, but you also get a 5% bonus when you send the referral out. And of course, they'll get a 5% bonus. You get a 5% bonus. I get a 5% bonus. Everyone wins. That's a pretty good bonus all around. I like that. Now, obviously, you just basically have to secure your referral link. Just hit this one here, and that will bring up the referral. And then you just go, I understand. Then you just hook up your MetaMask wallet, paste in the referral address that you want. I always suggest using a new MetaMask wallet, so you can just make a new wallet address, put it into here, and then, of course, they'll give you a privacy link. That's a referral link, but it's private. And, of course, won't have your wallet address on it, and you can send it out for people to use. Once again, everyone that's participating in it must have a sacrifice of over $500 for the referral to qualify. Just take into account. But it's pretty easy. Once you generate that, it will produce you a referral link. That's pretty easy like that. Yeah, pretty nice. All right, so that's the way that works. And I think I've got one more site here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that's it. That's it on the the liquid loans, I should say, sacrifice. And that's the way it works. And so we've got one final topic. We've got validators on the Pulsechain testnet too. That's our final topic for today, folks. So we'll get into that shortly. But let's get into the chat and get up to date. Brownie's in the house with the thumbs up. We've got Francia in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Sanjit says, long live Richard. Yeah, long live Richard the Lionheart. I think it's the way the old classic movies used to have it. Prasad says they should have allowed people to lock their coins up for 99 months, lol. That is a one way. Getting coins off the market. That's the ultimate, right? That's what everyone's trying to do. It's now says that, actually, I think I'm a little bit behind the comments here. Where did I get up to here? Brazalji says six people sent Hex into the liquid loan sacrifice. That is true. And Brain Funk says about $12 gas fees. That's not too bad at the moment. It's still annoying, but it's not too bad. Francia says, hello. Hey, Francia. Good to see you. What else we got going here? Long live Richard. I've gone through that. And it's only 8.25 years. It's only 8.25 years. Not sure what's Brazalji referring to there. They should allow 8.25 years. Oh, yeah, I get it. 99 months. Nice one. BJM says, is there a PulseX lead type tracker for liquid loans? A PulseX lead type tracker for liquid loans. I think we just looked at that, right? So that's what we're looking at here. Is there PulseX leads? No, I don't think PulseX leads is doing it for. I haven't seen one at least for liquid loans. Whether he does one or not, that's systems gen, isn't it? I'm not sure whether he's done one for that or not. So yeah, it's definitely. But this how the pulse is looking pretty good. I will try and check out whether he has got one. Yeah, 9 months, 8.25. Yeah, I worked it out a bit slow there, bizarrely, but I did work it out. Cool. All right, so that's it. We're up to date on that. Let's get into the final topic. We're up to an hour and 9 minutes. We're doing pretty good. It's pretty good to do about an hour and 20 in a live stream. Big shout out to everybody. If you haven't subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And if you want to join as a member, of course, hit the join button. It's either on the main page of the channel or on the video. You click the join button. You've got Pulsechain, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. Get into that. You get cool emojis in the chat. And, of course, help support this channel promoting these projects as well. Very cool. Let's get into validators, of course. This is the cool stuff here. I've actually got this link to my wallet. And we've still got 28 validators. So that's in this Pulsechain testnet 2. We've got the validators and staking. Of course, we're going to be able to stake with validators. And I've actually increased my staking here. So I've got the 5th validator here. They have got total staked. The top one's got 80,000 Pulse staked. This 5th one that I'm staked in has got almost 1,700 staked. They've got some pending stakes coming in. They're all in rotation. They've got, they're all, in other words, they're all operating to validate the chain. And they've got no, this top one's got no misdemeanors. Or the one I got on, it's got no misdemeanors or felonies. Number 4 here has those, got 5 and 2. That's typically not good. Typically get penalized on the fees. That means that if you're staking with them, you're going to get lower payouts. So typically, if these guys keep doing it, people will stop staking with them. They're unstaked with them, and they'll start falling out of the pack. Obviously, when Pulsechain goes live, there'll be 33 validators and a lot more people trying to get in as a validator, because it's just a great way of earning revenue, right? So that's kind of the idea. So, I've increased here. Total reward 16.6 paid out to this one so far. You can see compared to the top 18, so it's actually pretty decent, actually. 90% of the rewards in this validator are paid back to the stakers, only 50% in the top ones here, and 0% in this 4th one. So I'm in the 99% one. And of course, let's scroll on there. That is where I'm at the moment. I've just increased. So I just put this 25 in today, and to see whether what it would do to my rewards in terms of that. So now I've got a revenue share of 0.15%. So that's got to be pretty good, right? And so nice. I just clicked add stake and then put the amount in. I sold some of my Pulse test Hex for that. I turned it into, because I had a lot of Hex. Now that Hex on Pulsechain testnet 2 is worth, it was like 32,000 Hex, and it's worth like $68,000 US. It's pretty badass. I like that, but it's only a testnet, of course. But here we've got the page here, day 28. We've got 28 results. These are all the validators now, 28 on there. We're going to have 33 when Pulsechain goes live. So let's have a look at the active stakes. So the active stakes here. This is my active stake in here, as you can see. And I don't know if it's showing up. No, that's all it's got at the moment. So hopefully we'll see some revenue from that. Validator registration. This is if you want to be a validator, you've got to contact the dev team, and they'll send you 500,000 test pulse to pay. And of course, rules and validator. Now I do know Dave Ferrer, I think is the correct name, is doing a public one there as well. I'm not sure whether that's. I think they're going to do that for the Kinetics team or something like that. So it'll be going to be a public validator. In other words, kind of a community validator there. Anyway, here's some rules in FAQ. Now, I think this is actually new, but they've got cool stuff here just to give more explanation. I have gone through this from the GitLab site. I think there's most of this information's on there. Validator rotation occurs every 28,800 blocks, and of course we got 3-second blocks, right? 3-second blocks. So if we go to Pulsechain, you can see that on live. Yeah, we've got 3-second blocks at the moment. So it gives you an idea of what that means. And of course, 24 hours, that's going to be around about 24 hours at the targeted 3-second block time. So max validator registration and rotation rules, maximum of 33 validators. So when you get your pulse, this is where you're going to want to sacrifice, to stake it. Obviously, you could stake it with liquid loans as well, collateralize that. So there are going to be a couple of options. You could also put it into pools. There'll be a lot of third-party dApps is also trying to get hold of your PLS. Be very careful with those, because you don't want to lose your pulse, your precious pulse. You waited months for the precious pulse, and maybe a year even by the time. You don't want to lose it, do you? No limit to the number of registered validators, so there could be many more than 33. There is a non-refundable deposit required, of course. Cool. The time of registration, validators determine the revenue share, and stakers were in a simple percentage, 0 to 1%. And of course, we see that on there. We've got 50%, 99%. 69%, 86%. So lots of different amounts there. So that's cool. What else we got going on there? At the time of rotation, validators already in rotation are paid any fees they've accrued over the last cycle through the staking contract, and which also distributes the payments to the stakers automatically. And that's pretty cool. So if you stake with them, you're going to get the payments automatically. Pending stakes become real stakes, of course, once it clocks over, I guess, the validator rotation era. And of course, validators are then ranked by their total stake and the top 33 selected. So that's pretty much how it works. These people, based on how much they've got staked, that's going to rank them. As you can pretty much probably see here, if we turn up there, that's kind of the ranking and by staking. And if people are getting a lot of misdemeanors and felonies, getting a lot of revenue penalties, you're getting a lower revenue than you should, then you can unstake from them and go to one that's operating well. And that should push out the bad actors out through the top of 33, and they shouldn't be earning any revenue, and only people that are performing well. That's kind of how it works. That's how the penalties work there. If people are not performing well, being online and all sorts of stuff, having too many technical issues and stuff like that, because the chain must be valid. It must keep working, right? It must keep ticking over. So we can't have people mucking around on that for sure. All right, so that's how that works. And of course, what else we got? Validators are also that are unresponsive, otherwise fail to produce their blocks in turn will be slashed. You heard it, slashed, tracked over time. And once 50 slashes have been reached, the validator is given a misdemeanor. All right, so we've got people in there already with misdemeanors. So you can see this has got 5 misdemeanors there, 17, 12. Oh my gosh, these people are terrible. So you'd want to unstake from them, right? You want to unstake and move them out of the pot, out of the list, probably, relatively speaking. You want to have quality validators in there as well. All right, so cool. All right, so there we are. And the slashed, this zeroes out the accrued fees, but the validator has earned up to that point in rotation. Oh, so you really do get hurt. Zeroes out the accrued fees that the validator has earned up to that point in rotation, but they can still earn fees for future blocks. The income stripped from validator will later be distributed evenly among all validators. So all the good validators get the fees from the bad validators. That's pretty neat. Once 150 slashes have been reached, the validator is given a felony. Oh, felony, folks. This is bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do to the county? Look at these ones. Got 6 felonies. 4 felonies, so they've had 150 slashes to get these felonies here, folks. And there we are. So that was about as much closest to singing as I'm going to get, by the way. All right, so there are slashes decay over time. Every rotation will remove up to 37 slashes from each validator. Validators can unregister themselves if they wish to go offline. As a way that they can sort of do maintenance or whatever on their servers and stuff. Staking rules: stakers can add up to one stake, add stakes to one or more validators. Stake added to a validator currently in rotation will be considered pending until the next cycle, so that's about a day. This prevents users from sniping fees by adding stakes to validators that are about to get paid. This also means that validators are only rewarded their stake that counts towards the validator being selected. Number 3, after adding stake to any given validator, the staker must wait a full cycle. It's about a day, 28,000 blocks, before they're able to remove that stake from validator. Stakers will be paid based on their share of the overall stake. For example, if a validator has 50% revenue, 2 stakers exist with 2 and 3 pulse delegated, and then the stakers will receive 20% and 30% of the validator's reward respectively, with the remaining 50% going directly to the validator to pay for their servers and stuff. Only stakers with at least 0.01% share of the stake will get paid at all. So remember that. If you're going to, only stakers with that much will get paid at all. Take that into account. That's going to be a big deal. So, yeah, and only their earnings are at least one way based on their share and the validator reward. So that is pretty cool. Don't get tricked out by that, you stakers out there with your validating. Nice. There's an FAQ there. And cool. So I just added my existing stake. Why won't allow me to remove my stake that's been there for more than 28,000 blocks? Multiple stakes from a single address on a staking single valid not tracked separately. When you add an existing stake, it resets the clock for removing stakes for all the stakes you have on that validator. You could still remove the stake from a different validator you have not recently staked with. So people will be using a lot of multiple wallets anyway and stuff like that. So cool. So that was kind of cool. I thought that was up there now. And of course, that's also got a clock here. Next rotation in 2,864 blocks around 41 past 8. I guess it's I think that's my time. Yeah, so yeah, that's coming up. So 2,800 blocks there. Cool. Maybe that's the UTC time. I'm not sure what time that is. But yeah, there's the blocks coming up. We've got 15.2 million blocks so far on the Pulsechain testnet. So there we are, 3-second blocks. Nice. All right, so that's pretty much how that works. So hopefully that was a bit of insight on the old validators. Now, you can access this site, of course, from pulsechain.com. Pulsechain.com will allow you to check out the site. You can just connect a dummy wallet or whatever you want to connect on it and check out these details. And you can even do your own stakes if you get onto the Pulsechain testnet and get some fake pulse through the Uniswap and stuff like that. I've done a couple of videos on that, so you can check that out. Let's play Pulsechain testnet 2. Probably the best video we've done because it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on that one. We go through all the different minimum viable products that Richard's done, are already up and running on Pulsechain testnet 2 and going really well. As I say, we've pretty much got Pulsechain testnet 3 to come. It's probably going to come soon, is my imagine. You know what? We're on day 71 of Pulsechain testnet 2, and that compared to 77 days on Pulsechain testnet 1. So we're getting pretty close. So Pulsechain testnet 2 shouldn't be 3 shouldn't be far away. And of course, we've got the admin bot and the DAO incentive token to come on those. Those are the two big things left to go. So we're getting there, folks. In the meantime, people can try and do some sacrifices or pick up some nice hex prices there at 16.1 cents at the moment. It looks like about at least half a dozen people in the chat have done that already. Let's all look here. So what else? We got Rothko in the house. Hey, Rothko, good to see you. Woo-hoo-hoo. And BJN says, I meant to ask, is there a way we can see our liquid loans token estimate after we have sacrificed it? Like how we can see it on, like, yeah, that's what I showed that earlier there, BJM, in here. You just post your address in here and show your details. It will show your points in there. So check that out. We also, you click the eye on the address here. You can check out all the points that are on there. It shows you the bonuses there. Hopefully that helps. Thanks, Brazology. Yeah, Brazology posted that. Good. A big simp says that. A nice big simp. Good to see you. Charity Dunning says, is there a waiting period for unstaking? I can't stand those 28-day unstaking waiting periods. It says you can unstake over the next every 24 hours approximately, Charity, if you're talking about the Pulsechain validators, which I just read through there. We've got Craig Weddings in the house, man. That is a good use of the emojis there, Craig. That's for sure. And BJN says, I won't sacrifice if I can't see my balance. Yeah, that's all good. We've got Russian bots in the house. Russian bots still there. Man, what's the mods doing? What's the mods doing? I have to mod myself. There we go. It's going to mod. What are we going to do to this? Let's report this one. Unwanted commercial activity. Oh, boom. All right, I think I've done that one. All right, cool. And we've got Francis in the house as well. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, good to see you, Jean-Francois Boxer. I think I got that right, hopefully. All right, let's end the poll, folks. We're up to an hour and 22. I just gone slightly over the time, but we did a pretty good day. Wasn't that a lot of good stuff, man? So much good stuff. Let's just summarize. We had PulseX summary. We had the Hex price review, liquid loans second day, and day one numbers. Pretty exciting. And, of course, we ended up with the latest and greatest on the Pulsechain validators, which was nice to see them as well. All right, so let's jump in here. Let's end the poll. We're going to 101 votes. We did it. I said, it would be great to get 100 votes, and we got 101. That's outstanding. So let's see what the results are for that. Brazology said, got him. Nice one. And yeah, Brazology actually bet me to it there, Brazology. And Brennan says the bot isn't showing up in chat for me. And Mick says, is there only any risk to delegating your PLS? No, Mick, it should be very good by the time we get there to stake with the validators. Should not be. That'd be one of the least risky things. There should be no risk on that one. Brennan says DB Briz got him. Yeah. Okay, poll results. Here we are. How are you feeling about the Hex price at the moment? So let's pull up the Hex price. We're going to talk about that. We might as well pull that up on the chart there. Let's go to the hourly and get rid of all the structure there. There we are on the Hex price. So how are we feeling? How are we feeling about this? So almost 16.2 cents. We've got time to buy. Pump soon, 45%. We saw at least half a dozen people in chat say that they've picked up some X already on this pullback. So they must be in this little rise up here. What else we got going? Just HODL, Pulsechain coming, 28%. So people got good bags of X. They're not doing anything. They're just calm and collected. They've been through all this before. Almost time to buy. 20%, almost time to buy. And so some people are waiting for a little price pullback, and maybe they're expecting another price pullback, and they're going to try to go for that. And of course, we talked about some of those targets. Maybe if it does go pull back again, maybe down to 13.5, and then 12 is kind of the next two support areas. But maybe it doesn't come back. Maybe it stays up here in the, maybe it doesn't go below than 15.2 cents. Maybe it just stays up at this region at this stage. So we're watching for that. All right. So, and then time to sell 4%. So not many people really wanting to sell. I think maybe the people are getting a little bit exhausted. Maybe that's the way we've got. So that's out of 101 votes. That's pretty good. So 45 people approximately. Time to buy. Pump soon. 28% just hodl. 28 people and 20 people almost time to buy. And 4 people says maybe time to sell. And of course, it's always getting a bit nervous. You always get a bit nervous when you sell. If you're going to sell your Hex, right? Because it's like, oh my god. So it's probably something you don't want to do. All right, cool. All right, so an hour and 25 minutes is pretty good, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Don't forget to catch me tomorrow. It's going to be pretty exciting. Now, I'm going to have to think about the PulseX there since we're now in the flat rate. We're going to look for the origin wallet. That's the sacrifice. Let's see where that drama plays out over the next 20 hours. It's going to be fun to see for sure. All right, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Don't forget to join as a channel member. Hit that join button. We've got Pulseskins, Hexskins, and Richard Hart Club. And I will, guys, see you all tomorrow. Thanks to all the moderators. Thanks to the Hex Token channel members. Thanks to all the subscribers and to all the Pulseskins, Hexskins everywhere around the world. Be cool because Pulsechain is coming. And we just have to be a bit more patient. That's it, the way it goes there. So nice. All right, let's sign out here. Thanks for watching. And if you're a Hex Token channel member, get some of those emojis out. That's the way we're going to be. Let's post some emojis. Boom. Oh, that was too many of those. I like the green ones. The PulseX ones actually look really good against the background there. Nice. And we'll put a rocket there. Cool. Boom. All right. So let's get into the final stuff there. We've got a few comments to read out. Will, hit the like button, he says. And Brent says, cheers, Hex Token. You're most welcome. And Roscoe says, what if Richard Hart sacrifices last minute for both LL, Mintra, and becomes the OA? That would be funny, Rothko. That would be funny. But of course, that would put, depends what he uses to do that, is the other thing, Rothko. I imagine he's not going to give them tokens they can sell down. So maybe something else that could possibly happen. But I don't think Mintra is going to be in the game for that. Mate, liquid lines is a possibility. That's a pretty good point of view, though, Rothko. Brown's got the big thumbs up, and Nefstars got the hang five, something like that. And Brazology, thanks for the stream. Hey, Brazology, always a pleasure, and thanks so much for your moderating. You are a killer of those Russian bots, and always love your insights into the community. So good. Rothko says cheers, and yeah, we've got all the emojis coming. Simple Believer's got the emojis coming out, and a good job as usual. Thanks, says A1. Hey, you're most welcome. And you've got Sam and SB in there as well. All right, take care for now. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.